So a lot of players, they can't hit a big ball or they can't hit through the court because of one reason. Hey everyone, my name's Tyler Stroik from Tennis with Tyler, and today we're going over the #1 reason why you can't hit a big ball on your forehand. If you ever feel like you're inside the court, at the baseline, wherever you are, and you just can't hit through your opponent, then this is the video for you. A lot of players, they think when you want to get power, what do you have to do in order to get power? You have to grip the racket as hard as possible. You have to swing as hard as you can to really hit that ball past your opponent. But it's actually counterintuitive. I used to do this all the time while I played tennis. I would tense up, I would rotate, I'd be perfect, I'd be getting in my legs, but then I'd swing like this. And instead of swinging like this, I need to swing like this. Once again, I'm gonna turn around. Instead of swinging like this, I need to swing like this. There is a big difference. Instead of just using my arm and my wrist and my elbow to swing and my shoulder, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead with the racket first, racket, then wrist, then elbow, arm, shoulder. Once again, instead of leading with my elbow, arm, and shoulder, I'm going to lead with my racket first, then my wrist, then my elbow, arm, and shoulder. The first thing that you want to go out is your racket. Your racket, then your wrist, your fingertips, then your wrist, then your elbow, then your arm and shoulder. A lot of players, they just swing with their shoulder or their arm and their elbow. You need to, again, throw the racket first. When you swing with your racket, you want to pretend that the tip of your racket is weighted, okay? The tip of my racket is weighted. So when I proceed with my swing, my racket's just going to fly forward, right? So again, visualize that the tip of the racket is weighted, right? So momentum's going to carry it forward. I don't want to just go like this. I want to lead with my racket, right? So you want to throw the tip of the racket out. So how are some tips and tricks that we can do this and ensure that we can do it? It's very easy. When I hit this ball, I want to throw the racket tip out forward. When I hit this ball, watch what I'm going to do. Throw the racket tip out forward. Watch. When I proceed with my swing, I'm going to keep on swinging and watch. Once I'm done after contact, before I follow through, look at the tip of my racket. The tip of my racket is actually facing towards where I want to hit. So again, if you can think that your tip is weighted and you're throwing the tip of the racket out forward to the point that you point the tip of the racket towards your target and then follow through, that's going to ensure that your racket goes first, okay? You need to go with your racket and then your wrist, okay? So either point the tip of the racket, or what you can think is that you're throwing your fingers out, okay? You want your fingers to be facing forward. You don't want to use your arm and then look, when I use my arm, here we are, swing, look, I use my arm, look, my fingers are facing this way, right? When I throw my fingers out forward, here we are, swinging, I throw my fingers out, I want my fingers to be pointing forward. By pointing my fingers forward right after contact, right, or through contact, that's going to ensure, again, that I throw the tip of my racket out and have my racket go first and then body go second. I want that racket to lead, think it's weighted. Again, so you're going to hit your forehand and you're going to throw the tip of your fingers out forward so you can hit through the ball. Another way that you could do is you could really just grip your wrist with your non-dominant hand and just work on getting this feeling, okay? Work on, by gripping your wrist with your non-dominant hand, that's going to force you to what? Not be able to tense up in your elbow, arm, shoulder, wrist, right? And that's going to help you throw your racket out, okay? You want to throw the tip of your racket out forward. So if you're doing this yourself and you're self-feeding, I'd let the ball bounce twice. You're going to grip your wrist and then you're going to throw. Let the ball bounce twice, grip your wrist, and then throw. Let the ball bounce twice, grip your wrist, and then throw. Now I'm going to check that the camera is still rolling because it's super hot out today, which it is. We're still recording. The last tip that you could do, and sometimes what we do when we work with beginners is instead of have them take the racket back, drop and hit, right? So you want to take the racket back, drop and hit. If you're trying to learn this, you're going to keep your racket tip facing up and your strings facing to the side. That someone, if they were next to me, they could put their palm on my string. So you're going to start like this, all right? And all you're going to do to hit, you're going to keep your body not really that involved. And all you're going to do is you're going to let the ball bounce and then you're going to hit. Again, you're going to start here. Racket tip facing up, strings facing to the side. You're going to let the ball bounce twice so you have time. And then you're going to drop and hit. You're going to start here, drop and hit. Because when you start up, when you proceed to drop and you throw, the tip of the racket or your fingers are going to be facing forward. Again, so keep your racket tip up to do this drill to learn how to hit through the ball. Let the ball bounce twice, then throw the racket tip out. Racket tip up, strings to the side, let the ball bounce twice, and then throw that racket tip out. When you throw this racket out, you want to hear the whoosh. You want to hear the air against your racket. The more you let that racket go first, let that racket work for you, and the less you work for the racket, you're going to be much better off and be able to hit through the ball. So if you want to hit a big ball, next time you're on court, don't use your elbow, don't use your arms, don't use your shoulders. Throw your racket out first, then your fingertips, then your wrist, then your arm, shoulder, elbow, and you're going to be so much better off when you hit, and you're going to be able to hit big balls. Now, if you guys want even more of my tennis tips, make sure to check the link in the description for my instantly improved my forehand and serve ebooks. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We just hit 20,000 followers. Guys, I have over 120-something thousand followers on Instagram. I am so happy to get to 20,000 YouTube subscribers. Way more. I feel way better about that than I've ever felt about Instagram, because YouTube is awesome. It allows me to monetize and help fund my passion for what? Doing these videos, okay? Make sure to subscribe. Let's hit 50K, all right? I'm ready. Are you ready? I'll see you guys next time on court. Have a good one.